Welcome to the IBM Podcast Network.
This is the Geek Podcast with Jishnu and Tejas.
Greetings and welcome to the Geek Fruit Podcast. I am Jishnu.
I am Tejas.
And this is what a podcast is, I guess. We're doing this for the first time. This is the very first episode.
Actually, it's not even the first episode. This is like the precursor to the first episode. This is officially like an origin story to what would be a amazing series of podcasts which will happen in the future, hopefully.
We haven't been recording for even 30 seconds and already you're interrupting me and correcting me.
Yeah.
Welcome to what it will follow for the next 45 minutes, I am sure.
So I think we should talk about what Geek Fruit is and why people should... Actually, no, we shouldn't tell people why they should listen to us. They should just listen to us. But I think Geek Fruit is what is a very ambitious kind of project that Jishnu and I kind of started with a couple of our friends. And it's supposed to be a community to unite estranged geeks. At least that's what I've been telling everybody, because I don't know, when people say, what is Geek Fruit? Then this is the only answer. This is like my little
It's the shortest answer.
It's the shortest answer.
It's our elevator pitch.
Yeah. And I think it's basically because, we've had kind of varied backgrounds growing up and, being involved, just watching a lot of pop culture and getting really nerdy about it and just being really excited about things like, Star Trek, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, stuff like that. And, there's no real kind of community in India which was, trying to collect all these people together and just have them, geek out about this stuff. So.
Yeah, that's really the point of it, is to be the Indian voice in the conversation that exists worldwide. Definitely it's loudest out west, but I mean, by virtue of the fact that there are a billion of us in this one tiny little country, there are definitely...
It's not tiny,
well,
but it's got so much right now. And I think just generally in the, in the space we are right now, in the time we are in the world, it's just like some of the biggest things in the world are just made of pop culture. I don't know if that's a sad thing, but that's how I grew up, at least, man. Like for me, I grew up in Dubai, and over there, that place, it was kind of finding its own kind of culture and, deciding what kind of nation it was going to be. At the same time, I was kind of half exposed to Eastern culture, which is like India, and my parents through them. At the same time, my brother was showing me Aliens when I was 6 years old, officially scarring me for life. But now I can't stop watching Aliens, and that's how I kind of grew up, watching Star Wars, watching all these things, and that's really kind of formed my... everything I think of is based in Star Wars. Kind of I make decisions based on the Force.
You're very sad and lonely. This is
why I'm stuck in a room recording with you.
Because we were in a small soundproof box so nobody else can chime in.
What about you, Jishnu? Just tell me how you got into this.
Nobody cares, but I'll tell you why. So kind of similar. Yeah, I mean, I was much like you, little nerdy little kid, quiet and shy, just hugging the TV screen every evening after school and not wanting to let go because I loved everything I saw in there. But there was never really any opportunity at all growing up to really talk about it and really dig into it with others, because I feel like the game has changed completely, especially in the last 5 to 8 years maybe, where in which nerds are no longer I would hope. I do not frequent schoolyard playgrounds these days, so I don't know exactly what happens there.
I hope you don't.
I would imagine, though, that the kids don't get beat up as much.
Yeah, man, nerds are cool now.
Liking this kind of stuff.
We're cool.
So,
we're official.
Now we can say it.
Yeah. That's why we're on a podcast. We're cool now. And I think the good thing is definitely, like we were just talking about, is that some of the biggest franchises and, biggest selling things in the world are made of, pop culture. And I think it's a good time to kind of address it, even if it's in the smallest way, this kind of platform that we're building.
Yeah.
So if I have to kind of sum it up, Geek Fruit is the Indian perspective on pop culture, and hopefully, like I said, such an ambitious project we're trying to do is that if science fiction becomes such a great big thing, or fantasy, or in India, and there are more movies or books made about it, then I would definitely want to say that we had something to do with it.
That being said, though, I don't think any of us would dare to call ourselves experts necessarily at this because we are just fans that like have nothing else to do with ourselves other than just like
Yeah,
lord
we're
over all
fans,
this.
for sure.
But with that being said, the whole point of this being a community is that we really are hoping to start a conversation with other Indian fans out there. So we're really trying to get you guys, i.e. the listeners and anybody else that you might know, involved in on this.
Yeah, this sounds so serious. Man. It's like a cause.
It's
It's
thing.
like guys, come together. Let's do this. Let's be nerds together. I think it's good. I think it's still cool. But like, I mean, that's basically how, like we started this. Like I met Jishnu like maybe a year ago, and then like the only thing that stood out,
Pretty
apart
much.
from his amazing personality, was the fact that he really loves Star Wars as much as I did, and I was like, wow, this is somebody to look out for. And then like when why we decided to do this is because when in April when Star Wars Celebration happened, which is this amazing, it's like Comic-Con but just for Star Wars, and because we both love that so much, like
You got really drunk somewhere at a party and then you called me right after
Yeah,
you saw the
as
trailer, and
soon
I
as
was
the
at home
trailer-
crying myself.
as soon as the
alone in
trailer
corner.
came out.
The lights were out, and I was like, oh, I want somebody to hold because
Yeah, I know.
I need something. And then he calls me 5 or 6 beers in. He's like, dude, did you see
Did
it?
you see that? Oh my god! But it was beautiful. It was like,
of course it was.
and the fact that that movie like literally has brought this about, it just showcases the power of Star Wars and the power of like pop culture. It's so easily dismissed also by so many people saying that pop culture is nothing. But there's so much more to it, and I hope that we can like together discover it. Okay,
This is so
I think
shameless.
this is enough for
Self-indulgence.
Yeah. So that's Geek Fruit, I guess. We're gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna come back to our first ever topic. And no surprises, it's Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Let's pay some bills.
Now, if you want to listen to some brilliant indie music from all over the country, it's really simple. You can find me on Made in India. That's madeinindia.in. My name is May, and it's spelled M-A-E-D. Now, I've had some great artists on the show, including the likes of Nikhil D'Souza, The Cognac Net, Last Remaining Light, Tejas Menon, The Other People, Alicia Pays, Lakshmi Bomb, Vasudha Sharma, Ankur Tiwari, and so many more. Now, if you want to subscribe, you can go to iTunes or Stitcher or your favorite podcast app, or you can find me on my website. That's madeinindia.in. That's M-A-E-D, or on Twitter and Facebook on Made in India.
Okay, so we're back at it, and we are going to delve now into everything Star Wars thus far. So we're recording this right now before the movie comes out.
And really, before the movie comes out, like in the sense that one of the most important things we should talk about is the
We
fact
haven't
that
been on for more than 30 seconds after we came back from the break, and already you're interrupting me.
Yeah, no, it's just
I told you this would happen
The
a
Force
lot.
Awakens. It's just like we're already, we're 2 weeks behind the rest of the world. I think that's the most important point we should start with. There's so much to talk about, but the first thing is that we're not going to be watching The Force Awakens when the whole world is watching it, and that sucks.
Yep.
Go, man. Tell me, how do you feel?
I will tell you exactly how I feel. I actually want to tell people about an app on Chrome that I discovered that I will definitely be using. It's called the Star Wars Force Awakens blocker. So I haven't used it yet. I plan on getting it like maybe the day of the 15th or like midnight on the 14th into the 15th, because I obviously want to
18th.
see, or sorry, I mean the 18th, my bad.
Yeah.
But because obviously I want to see everything Star Wars before that. I want to see the whole build up and stuff. But between the 18th and the 25th when it comes out in India, I'm going to be using this thing to basically go underground.
Yes, delete the internet. That's what I've just been telling everybody.
That's my plan, yeah. But obviously that really can't happen as much as I would like it to. But there's this thing called the Star Wars blocker on Chrome, and some people have used it. I haven't used it yet, but the reviews that I've seen basically say that it's a little too good, which makes me happy about
That's good.
the fact that I'll be using it after the movie's done.
And you're only using it for like a matter of like a week.
I'm using it for 7 days.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally cool.
Apparently, it just like it blurs out anything that has the word Star Wars in it, and like the entire article gets blurred out. And I was like, that's fantastic. Because
That's
otherwise, I would
crazy.
have to like delete Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff.
I think we should just
which
do
I
that
probably
generally.
will.
Yeah.
I probably will anyway. But if I ever
know.
break,
This is probably gonna be. So first off, why this is happening is because of 2 Hindi movies that are coming out. Not to hate on Bollywood, but I really do sometimes.
But let's do it.
Let's do it, sure. So there are 2 big movies coming out on the 18th, and I think it is because there's not enough screens that they're just not showing the film. So it's Bajirao Mastani. This is the movie I really wanted to talk about in this podcast, which is a Sanjay Leela Bhansali film, if I'm not mistaken. And and the other movie is Dilwale, which is a Rohit Shetty film. And it's got Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol in it.
Man, you've done your homework on The Enemy.
No, it's so I know about Bollywood. Bollywood is pop culture for all intents and purposes, and let us treat it as so. But like just okay. So there's a romantic Bollywood film starring Shah Rukh Khan in it, and again, that just like it just ruined like so many things. I mean, I don't know why they decided to do this, especially when Star Wars is such a. I mean, I don't know.
It's gonna break records like. Without question.
Without question,
It's
but in
gonna break
India,
every record
I don't. I
without
mean, like
question.
in India, how big do you think is the fan base for Star Wars in India?
It's big enough, but I think if they actually took the time to sit and like put it out there,
Yeah.
and like took a small gamble, because really marketing Star Wars is not the biggest gamble in the world
Yeah,
at all.
it's not.
If they
It's
took
not.
the time to do that, I mean, it's going to be dubbed in like a bunch of
4
different languages,
languages, yeah.
including Hindi, right? And so even if they put it out in Hindi and told people about it and let people know that it was happening, people would go see it because it looks cool as all hell. I mean, and
it's
everybody
Star
and their mom
Wars.
knows about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I've been saying this. It's a cultural milestone in cinema, like worldwide. I know my
Absolutely.
parents are huge fans. My mom is just personally, she's just like a huge Harrison Ford fan. So I know that she would 100% watch it.
And actually, I think in the long run, this particular movie is essentially sort of putting the restart button on Star Wars for this generation.
Yeah.
In that, obviously, it's going to be built off of the previous 6 movies, right? But now I think that what they're doing with Kathleen Kennedy getting over, Disney taking over Lucasfilm and all that, they're starting from scratch in a certain way, much like how Marvel did with Iron Man. I think that this movie is essentially going to be what Iron Man was for Marvel, and that it's going to be the starting point for a much bigger, long-running kind of thing, which, you could argue, I have mixed feelings about it. I think everybody will have their own opinion on how this might play out. But the fact that this movie is the first one this year, and then you're going to have movies like Rogue One, and then the Han Solo movie, and then, of course, the main movies to follow.
Yeah.
It's only going to get bigger, and I foresee this essentially becoming Lucasfilm's answer to what Marvel and what the MCU is now, because they're also talking about like having TV shows come out of this stuff, and there's a whole lot of speculation with that.
The thing I'd like to I don't know, I've been thinking about it, is like, so Disney has Marvel, so they have that kind of that build up kind of that whole strategy, that formula of basically having these solo individual films lead up to a kind of like an Avengers. So I mean, they have that kind of strategy. So I'm just kind of wondering what is their plan for Star Wars? Like, how long are they gonna do a trilogy and then stop and then anthology films?
I think that they'll milk it for all it's worth, because that's what Disney does. That's what
Star
any
Wars,
corporate does.
yeah.
But here's the thing, right? So Marvel, I think, is working really well because for like 50 years or however long comic books have been around, right? There has been a fan base, a very active fan base, but a fan base that unfortunately was never allowed to be in the spotlight, because you would get beat up in school if you said you like comic books,
Yeah.
from the 40s to like the early 2000s. But then along comes Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, and suddenly it becomes cool, and then everybody from the nerd to the jock to everybody in between is now digging Iron Man. And I think that's what they're kind of trying to do with Star Wars, because they also know that Star Wars from 1976 has had a very, very
But don't you think Star Wars
active
has always
fan
been
base.
cool though? Like, I mean, like,
Not necessarily. I don't think
it blurred
it's-
the lines between being a nerd and being less like, so like what George Lucas even says, he says like, Star Wars is not a science fiction film, right? It's a soap opera.
Absolutely, completely.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't think the layman will appreciate that, because all you see is a bunch of dudes with funny costumes and ray guns like shooting at each other. It's not any different from Flash Gordon, which is what he originally
Also
based
amazing,
off of,
yeah.
which is incredible. But it's
And Hidden
about
Fortress,
but
yeah.
it's about as geeky and blatantly nerdy as it gets, and very uncool in that
Definitely.
way.
Yeah, I get it that way.
So I think that what they're trying to do right now is basically say, hey, we have a big cash cow with Star Wars that we've let sleep for 30 years. Let's resurrect that guy and bring him out and make some money off of it. So I think if India put the effort into marketing Star Wars, particularly this movie, which is getting in on the ground level, then I think they could have, which now they've given up that opportunity, have started something regarding like sort of, awakening the geekdom within the populace.
Let's kind of like talk about what Star Wars is at right now, like where it is before The Force Awakens, right? Like until now, it's been really dodgy, because like I think coming off of the prequels, they didn't know what the stance to take. They didn't know what was happening. George Lucas not, relinquishing control over the franchise. And then suddenly he's like, you know what? I'm done. I think, so he said, I can't, I think he was facing a lot of pressure, for sure, from, buyers to just take this franchise forward. Because now, if you've seen, this year has been like the year of resurrecting, older franchises. Jurassic World, which, by the way, producer is Frank Marshall, who's Kathleen Kennedy's husband. So that's the funniest thing.
Can you imagine that household?
That household is crazy.
It's
like,
full of secrecy.
Their kids are like, oh, I don't know whether I have lightsabers in dinosaurs or what. But, two of the biggest franchises this year. Terminator was back this year. So many different, not a good movie by any means, but, so many different things back this year. I think that has been the plan for maybe a couple of years.
We'll definitely dissect that at a later episode. I'm sure that'll happen soon enough.
So a lot of it coming back now. George Lucas selling it, and so even if you notice, like at Star Wars Celebration this time, there was no mention of the prequels. I think they're just trying to bury that so much and just focus again on bringing back the glory days of Star Wars, which is what this movie kind of looks like.
I mean, they announced it like about a week or something ago. In early December, Kathleen Kennedy said like officially Jar Jar will have nothing to do with these movies.
George said
or Kathleen? Well, somebody official. I forget who it was.
So George Lucas said, I have nothing to do with these movies. Like, I have nothing to say.
No, I mean Jar Jar has nothing.
Oh, Jar Jar
has nothing to do with the future of Star Wars. Jar Jar is done with, and so
I hope so.
With that, they kind of like
unless that is J.J.
nails on that
Abrams'
coffin.
biggest twist yet. My brother sent me a photograph. And I showed this to you earlier. It's a photograph of Kylo Ren, and his shadow being cast on like the Tatooine household is that of Jar Jar Binks, and like it was just like really funny.
Well, that being said, story.
Yeah,
speculation.
Let's get to the story.
Fun with all that.
Yeah. So I think what most Star Wars fans enjoy doing is talking. I mean, and I've been doing this for so many years, which is like, what happened to what happened to the Skywalkers after the second Death Star and, Endor and everything like that. And ever since they retconned, like, all the expanded universe stuff, I mean, that was when everyone was saying, like the scene where Obi-Wan is just like, oh, suddenly I felt a million deaths, like a million voices cry out.
Yep.
That's like what happened when they retconned the entire expanded universe. It was just like, oh my god, all this amazing material which, fans and novelists have made with General Thrawn and basically Jason and Jaina Solo, their stories and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have read that, but like it's a great story. I never got into it because it felt wrong to...
you know that I'm as much of a purist as it gets. Like, I've tried very hard to stay away from anything beyond the original trilogy, but in order for myself personally, just to sort of give myself something to do for the next, for those 7 days in between the 18th and 25th, I've gotten into Rebels, which I really enjoy.
Rebels is so
great.
I'm
gonna get in. I've seen a few episodes of the animated Clone Wars, which I was a little disappointed with. I've heard that it gets better after the first season. It is
amazing. As someone who is a huge fan of Clone Wars and Rebels, and it is amazing. And it's really what like every Star Wars fan kind of needs to kind of explain the gap between 2 and 3. I mean, like, this is the real version, I feel, of like Anakin Skywalker, which everybody hated in Hayden Christensen, which I didn't particularly like either. Nope. He was trash. Nope. he was really bad. But like for sure, like the Clone Wars have just done this amazing take on the Jedi Order, and really about the like what people don't like about the prequels is like all the politics and the agenda and all of that. It's like just about that. I loved it. I love the prequels. I that. Like, so,
I like 3 a lot.
I love the generally I love the prequels, and I know there are a lot of haters, which makes me even more fervent about it. But and the Clone Wars and Rebels have just done such a good job in bridging these two key gaps.
Yeah.
So I think first off, story wise, they've already off to a good start, and now in the movie, it's just gonna I don't know what kind of stance they're gonna take, but I have a few ideas of what
hypotheses.
I have a few. I think everyone loves speculating. Yeah. So let's just take a break, and we'll just come back. We'll discuss story. Discuss who's gonna live, who's gonna die, who's gonna give in to the Force.
That's really all that matters. That's really all that matters.
So we'll just take a break. We'll be right back.
You can listen to Cyrus Says from our apps on iOS, Android, or our website, cyrussays.in. You can also listen to services like iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcasting softwares. It's cyrussays.in.
Cool. Welcome back to the Geek Food Podcast, and you're listening to me, Tejas, and Jishnu's here also. And we're talking about Star Wars again. I can't believe we get to do this, like, I wouldn't say for a living, but like this is a proper thing now. We get to talk about Star Wars professionally.
You're using the word professionally quite loosely. But yes,
so professional.
We do it and put it on tape?
Yeah. I mean, like, we're in a
on
studio.
hard drives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in a proper studio speaking about Star Wars. Oh my god, I feel so important. It's good.
So what are the important things you want to speak about so importantly?
There's only one, man. There's only one. The Force Awakens. I just wanted to say it as epic as I could.
You can do better.
No, it's so important because we're literally 2 weeks away. I think what everybody loves about, Star Wars is like just talking about what's going to happen. Like, we've been discussing this stuff since 1985? Not us, just generally the world.
You were born in 89, I know this. You're like 2 months older than me.
Stop telling my age on this damn thing. Anyway, but my point is that like people have been deciding what is going to happen to Luke Skywalker. He's like my favorite, so I really want to know.
He's your favorite?
Yeah, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
He's kind of whiny.
Does that not make sense?
Whiny. Yeah, that actually, wow.
Oh my god, I want to watch Star Wars now.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense.
No, but my point is, Luke Skywalker
before?
is like the hero. And the whole story of Star Wars is the hero's journey, and I'm really excited to know what happens in this movie and like how they're just going to take it forward and make a new hero's journey. So let's talk about first off, what do we know so far about the movie? What have we been able to infer from all the content that we have seen in the form of trailers and maybe a couple of TV spots and maybe a few interviews given by key people in production?
So the thing that I'm most curious to find out about was shown in the full-length trailer when
this is the one which came out in
just like October, I think.
Oh, the last
trailer. Yeah.
The last US trailer that
yes,
came
the
out.
2 minute long, 2.5 minute long.
Not the international trailer.
Not the international trailer.
That was also good. That was great.
Well, what I was most curious about was the moment where it's just like one line that Han has when he's talking to Rey and Finn, saying, "It's all true. The Jedi and the Sith and the whole thing.
Right.
It's all true."
That's the key line. I feel.
It's a very key line because then the question that came to my mind is like, why did anybody need convincing about the fact that all this stuff happened? That there were 2 Death Stars that blew up thanks to a bunch of like furry little teddy bears and a band of basically Scooby-Doo rebels who were like, oh, foiled again thanks to these idiots.
Yeah, but that's something that we've spoken about at length, and like what seems quite clear now is that if you actually look at the original trilogy, like the Jedi is literally extinct anyway. It's been gone ever since Order 66 in Revenge of the Sith. And plus there was another like 20-year gap between 3 and 4. And then Luke Skywalker is this soul kind of solitary kind of guy, grew up in a planet where nobody off the, on the outer rim, as they say, Tatooine. So really if you had to be a person in the rebel, fleet or the alliance, and you would not really know that, Luke Skywalker is this kind of key figure. He's like kind of working in the shadows, so to speak. Right. So he goes and meets, Yoda and Dagobah. Nobody knows about that.
So that's what got me to thinking about the name itself, The Force Awakens.
Exactly,
because,
yeah.
It's kind of ironic. Like the third one's called The Revenge of the Sith. So the Sith rise back, and then the Empire strikes back in 5. And then
Return of the Jedi.
The Jedi are back, and now the Force has to be awakened again. So there's that 30-year gap in which I guess people forgot about Luke and they forgot about Yoda and whatnot. And so like you said, rightfully so, with all the attacks that happened in Naboo and everything that happened in Yavin and both the Death Stars and everything like that.
Yeah.
I guess if you were living within that system and you were told as a kid, like Rey and Finn would have been when they were kids, right when those incidents happened, like they would have been like babies when Jedi was taking place.
Yeah.
And so they were probably brought up being told that, yes, the Imperials are out there and the Empire's out there, and they were destroyed, or at least partially destroyed, I guess, by the Rebel Alliance. And the
not
names
by
Luke Skywalker and Han Solo even maybe were not. Maybe Han Solo because of now General Leia, because I guess she stayed with the Alliance. But I guess Luke, being Luke, wanted to pull in Obi-Wan and go like live in the middle of nowhere.
Which is my real question. Why did he do that? Why did Luke Skywalker not go and, true to the title of the film, Return of the Jedi, not go and re-establish the Jedi Order, which was there on Coruscant? Like, I don't know. I want to know what happened in Coruscant. mind
And
also.
this is what makes me really happy about the fact that Abrams is doing this.
Yeah.
Because I saw an interview just a couple days ago on AOL. It's like a half an hour long thing
Yeah,
where
great
we did
interview.
a segment, and there was one beautiful question, which was, so why have we not seen Luke at all? We've heard his voice in one of the teasers.
One.
But that's it, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen his hand. Maybe it's his hand, but we've seen a hand. That's the
It's
metal
probably
hand.
him.
It's
Yeah,
probably
it's the
him.
hand. Yeah, it's the
the
hand
right.
that got-
It's the right
yeah.
golden hand. Anyway.
Yeah.
But the question is, he's not on the posters,
Yeah.
and we haven't seen him at all. Why is that so? And the most perfect answer he could give was that I just don't want to ruin it for you guys.
Yeah, it's
which
probably
is
an
great because
amazing
we're now living in a
reveal.
world where like every freaking trailer has more in it than it should, and like it gives away more than it should, and like it gives you too much exposition about the plot
Perfect
line and whatnot.
example, Batman versus Superman.
We will.
We can't even get to that, but like,
Yeah,
what a
that-
terrible trailer.
oh
I just
my
want to
God.
put this out there. It was terrible, guys.
It was okay. Well, so speaking of the story and predictions, whatnot, let's place some bets.
Yeah, so-
I want to hear what do you think? Who's gonna live? Who's gonna die? Because that's really the most important thing, I suppose.
You know, I've
on
been
anybody's
thinking about
mind.
this for a while. So we have the Resistance, which is the new Rebel Alliance, and we have the First Order, which is the new Empire. So I think Star Wars is back. Like, there's still a great battle going on. The Force has not reared its head up in all of this. That's what the story is about. I think Luke Skywalker obviously is going to have a great role in this. Despite what the theories out there, he's not evil. He's a damn hero of the series. He's never gonna like turn. But definitely, Star Wars has always been about Skywalkers. That's what George Lucas has said. That's what Kathleen Kennedy said. So definitely one of them is, you know, the progeny. You know, of,
One of them being Rey and Finn, you mean?
no, Rey,
even Poe.
Rey, Finn, Poe, Kylo Ren. Any one of them could be a Skywalker. My money is on
Kylo Ren as a Skywalker, that would be.
Of course, 100%. He says it in the trailer because he
I'll
says,
finish what
I'm
you
going to finish
started."
what you started. So
Yeah.
there's definite possibility, or maybe a throw, you know, saying that he could be Anakin's clone. I don't know. Now, I mean, like, not me. This is a theory again.
Sure.
But yeah, definitely one of them is a Skywalker. Obviously, you know, ethnicity reason that people are not counting John Boyega. But I was
Yeah.
like, you know, why do that? He
Why
could
not?
be. But yeah, definitely if there's going to be a real spawn of anyone, it's probably Leia and Han Solo's kid, which is on. I mean, the odds are on not on Finn, on Rey. So yeah, probably Rey is Han Solo's daughter. I don't know.
But then we
possible.
see Boyega with the saber.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
does he have that?
Yeah.
That's what I think. You know, these key backstories have just been perfectly
yeah,
removed
yeah.
from the trailer. So I think definitely Ray's got to do something with it. You know, because the trailer starts with, "Who are you? I'm
Yeah,
nobody."
yeah.
Yeah, rarely is that the
Right,
case.
which is also exactly how Luke began his story.
Exactly,
He's
I'm
like,
a nobody.
He's a nobody. I live out here with like some stupid droids, and
Yeah,
next
he
thing
got
I know,
he got
I'm,
the
you know,
raw end of the deal. Huh?
Yeah.
One went and stayed like the senator, just lived it up.
Right, yeah.
Leia, and he's like, "What do we do with Luke? Yeah, let's just put him in the shitty part of the
Put him,
galaxy."
put him in a farm.
But yeah, I think definitely
growing
one of them is
spice.
Skywalker. Money is on Rey for sure.
Okay.
And
Who's gonna die?
Who's gonna die? Chewbacca, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think?
There's a shot
Okay.
of Rey crying over a body. It looks kind of furry also. I think it's gonna be Chewbacca.
It could be an Ewok. Do you think the Ewoks will be back? At
I
all?
don't
Actually,
think
no.
they'll be back.
I think they
They were
said
too
there are no
annoying.
Ewoks. I think they said.
Yeah,
I could be
yeah.
wrong, but I think I read somewhere that they said there won't be any Ewoks.
I
at
think
all.
definitely Chewbacca. What about you?
Well, do you think though, if Chewie dies, it will have any relation to his death in the books?
Yes.
In which he gets hit by a freaking moon.
Yeah, I don't think so, man. I hope not, because first of all,
I would just love to see it. I really would just love to see it.
that would be terrible.
Yeah.
No, but I think J.J. Abrams smarter than that. I mean, like,
Yeah, of
just
course. That
writing
just
wise,
makes no sense.
they're gonna kill off somebody.
Yeah.
Though it's rare that would happen. No one's ever died in the first part. Actually, no. Phantom Menace, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Amazing death.
Amazing death.
One of my
Great
favorite
death.
deaths.
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
My money, just because I like to think these evil thoughts, is one of the droids.
Yeah,
I
that would be-
actually really want one of the droids to die, just because I know
So
how much
terrible.
it'll hurt. I know,
But will it
it'll
work?
kill you so
It's like
much.
Wall-E dying. You know, it's like you can't. It's a robot.
No,
you can't die.
I
It's
think
like,
no. It's
It's
not
like Optimus Prime dying. It's like, oh my
No,
god, he's
no,
dead.
no.
Let's cry.
I
robot
think
tears.
I think it would hurt so much more than like freeing Optimus Prime because of the fact that one, they've been in all of the movies thus far,
Yeah.
and it's actually so much based around them. And like, if they didn't, save them from the trash compactor, if R2 didn't have
is
like
true.
jetpacks in the
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones to like
For
get off
sure.
that conveyor belt, I mean, like,
Yeah.
they're so integral, but they're so soft spoken in their role.
You know
what
what's-
I mean?
yeah.
So if they die, I feel like it'll be one of the most unexpected things to have happen, because they're rarely ever in the middle of danger, because they're always surrounded by a bunch of Jedi or a bunch of troopers.
It'll be a tragedy, actually.
It'll be
and you know what? They have to
so
really get
gut-wrenching.
fried, like melted away.
Yes, yeah.
It was like supposed to be really gruesome, like Game of Thrones.
Because we've already seen 3PO like with his head backwards and stuff. So
you can be
we've
put
seen
together.
We've seen them like mashed up and messed up in a bunch of ways, but you have to like literally like.
Oh my god, that is so
melt
sad.
them.
Just 3PO going like, "I'm sorry, Master. I think we're going to die." And then he's just like, "Oh my god," it would be tragic. Yeah. Oh, that's good.
I just want to feel
really
that pain would feel so good.
But Chewie also, Chewie just going dying like, just and then die.
Yeah. That would just be like the dog dying. That would just be like the pet.
Oh my god, I can't believe you said that.
He's a freaking pet.
He's not a pet, he's a co-pilot.
He's a co-pilot who's a pet.
Start the hyperdrive without Chewie. Oh my god, who's going to sit next to Han Solo?
Lando, or the other guy. Who sits next to Lando? Lando's got to be back at some point.
Is Lando in this film?
I think he is. I think I saw him in that picture from like that black and white one of the whole cast photo thing.
Oh shit.
I think he was there. I could be wrong. I don't know.
That would be so good.
I don't know. But
I would love to see him.
Okay, but here's one thing. He's in Rebels.
He's in Rebels.
He lends his voice to Rebels. He's in this latest season of Rebels as well.
He could totally be there.
He's very actively involved with it. He was at Celebration.
Yeah.
So
this is true.
So he's invested. He's not shying away.
Maybe saving for a second for a sequel. Another great B role, a B character, amazing story arc. One of the best B characters.
They will probably, I'll bet as well that they'll probably have a baby Lando in the Han Solo flick as well.
Unless Finn is is Lando's son.
Hey.
That would be great.
Ooh,
that's something.
I like that. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Okay, cool. So we have, oh my god, like I said, there's too much to talk about. So let's kind of move on to...
So, can we start a thing?
Yeah.
We have barely scratched the surface of everything Star Wars we want to talk about. Not only speaking about Force Awakens, but we have plenty we can talk about literally with the entire universe.
Yes.
We're going to bring this up every episode henceforth.
Like an Easter egg.
Some capacity.
Let's do it, yeah. So
some way or the other, we will find a way to squeeze it in. If you don't like Star Wars, then...
Too bad for you. Why are you here? That's my question. No, but every time we have to do a Star Wars segment every episode.
We will have to get back to this. But anyway.
Yeah.
That being said, let's move on. We'll be right back after we pay some bills.
India's first storytelling podcast is out now. You can download Tall Tales Takeaway on our website, indusvox.com, or on your favorite podcasting app on iOS, Android, and Windows.
Welcome back to the Geek Food Podcast. We're going to do a small segment right now. This is like a planned thing.
We have actually thought this through.
We have thought this through, despite what you think. I think one of the greatest things about pop culture and stuff like this is that there's news about stuff every single day, and there's so much to consume and there's so much to talk about that we don't actually get time to really think about it. So I'm gonna give you like 3 bits of latest, absolutely fresh
breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news.
Do it.
And you're gonna have to tell me what you think about it. Whether you know the series, whether you're familiar with it or not, I don't care.
Okay, cool.
And then you can give me 3 as well. Yeah.
Mine,
All right. So first one, I'm gonna give you one. I'm just gonna start it easy for you.
Okay.
Boom. Black Panther. Go. He's featured in the Civil War trailer. I mean, I'm just making it easy, but we don't know what to think about that. So go.
Are you talking about Black Panther's involvement in Civil War, or do you mean his solo movie?
Solo movie, sure. I mean, no, I think his involvement in Civil War for sure.
So I've read. I know that you've also read it. We've read the original comic of Civil War, and this looks like it's going to be actually quite different than the way that played out. This is going to be far more personal, and it seems to be far more about just Cap and Iron Man and the teams that they form. Not so much about what essentially is X-Men's dilemma in every movie of the whole man versus mutant kind of thing, which is basically what Civil War is meant to be. It's about wanting to bring some sort of order to keeping tabs on superheroes. So Black Panther's involvement, I'm actually really curious to see. One, obviously he's going to be badass as all hell because he's sort of like Captain America in that he's a melee fighter. He doesn't really have any sort of laser beams and rockets to fly. And
you have to see that. Maybe he has some projectile kind of stuff.
Possibly he might throw some blades or something. Yeah. He's actually less than Captain America. He's going to be more like Black Widow, but Black Widow with fangs. Black Widow with claws and fangs, and that's going to be really cool to see. So in the original comics, he had a very integral role as a lot of like, he hosted the first meetings that happened
that's true. Wakanda.
At Wakanda, they all met there, and so like he sort of played host to the whole
and I think
problem. So
just
now
also
how's
having
he going to be brought in? I'm really curious to
because
see.
he's kind of like third party, because like he's not really involved. He's a prince of another country. So that might be interesting. Good.
Yay, super excited.
Nice.
Could not be more excited. Okay,
Good,
I got one for
opinion.
you. I have
Nice
one for
opinion.
you.
Yeah, go.
Okay. There will be a Speedy Gonzalez solo movie.
What? Are you
Yes.
serious?
Yep.
Oh my gosh! But live action?
No,
Animated?
it's, I believe it's a cartoon from Warner Brothers.
Oh my God.
The
Super excited.
one image I saw was just the original cartoon picture. So I don't know.
Amazing.
I didn't really dive into it.
Love Speedy Gonzalez.
Yep.
And you know what? I think the opportunity for Speedster, a comedy Speedster film, which has the potential to be better than The Flash.
True.
Because, I love the TV series Flash, that.
I love that, yep.
And I'm not excited for the movie version, because now I'm just not excited about DC just generally.
Yeah, thanks to
Speedy Gonzalez,
Mr. Snyder.
amazing. I love
Yeah.
it. I didn't know this. This is such good
I'm
news.
hoping that it sparks the Avengers version of Looney Tunes.
Yeah!
That'd be amazing.
That's what I'm saying, comedy.
Which
You
is
know-
what Space Jam was, kind of, I guess.
Well, sure, but like this, the superhero genre has been around for so long that we can start spoofing it now, like properly.
I'm
Speedy
really excited to
Gonzalez
see
would be
that.
so
I'm
good
really
to see
excited
that.
to see that,
Yeah.
Cool.
Ooh, very good.
Hit me.
Nice. I love it. Okay, cool. Next one, Independence Day Resurgence.
Could not be more excited. I have been dreaming of this moment
Did
for
you-
so
you've not
damn
seen
long.
it-
I have
you've
not
not
seen
seen
it.
the
It came
trailer.
out this morning. I haven't seen it yet. Please, in 3 sentences, describe it for me.
It's hilarious. It's
That's
basically
2
like
words.
if Independence Day, the movie, then was made now. Better graphics, but less soul? I don't know.
Yeah, well,
but I'll
yeah,
tell you
kinda
one
figured.
thing.
Yeah.
The one good thing about it. What do you think was the best thing about Independence? Like, what is your favorite scene?
Harvey Firestein.
Okay, cool. Fine, Harvey Firestein. But my favorite was Bill Pullman, right? He was the
Sure, the
president.
speech. That speech was incredible.
The speech is in the
Yeah.
trailer.
What?
Yeah, it's
The same
great.
speech?
The exact same speech. Oh my god, it's great. I mean, that was the one
so
saving grace.
excited.
Jeff Goldblum is there, and it's basically like, you knew they were gonna come back,
Right.
And like that. That's the theme of the trailer.
Vivica A. Fox is in it, right?
Everyone
That's
is there except Will Smith. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. So, I heard about this movie coming back when, I will tell you, one of my guilty pleasures is watching The Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh my
And
god!
side note, I'm really excited that Arnold Schwarzenegger is taking it over now. But
Yes,
anyway, what
so
I'm
much
getting at
better.
is I saw a season of Celebrity Apprentice, the last season, in which Vivica A. Fox was on that thing.
Yeah?
And I just loved
Did she win?
No, she came like 4th or 5th or something like that. But she was a complete train wreck. It was hilarious. She like stole somebody's phone and got kicked off the show for stealing. It was hilarious.
Wow.
It's trash. It's beautiful trash TV. But anyway, like a week after she gets kicked off, they announced that she's going to be back in Independence Day 2, and that just made me that much more excited that she's
Do
going to
you
have like a
think-
more major role.
Yeah, for sure. Well, but she
I'm so
was what?
excited.
She was an exotic dancer in the
She was
first
an
one, right?
exotic
She's
dancer
Will Smith's wife,
that became
right?
best friends with Will Smith's wife, and she became best friends with Bill Pullman's wife, who then died.
All right.
And it was just this hilarious
right.
scene of like a stripper.
Sorry, that's
and
not even doesn't
and
even
vice
count as a
president.
spoiler, though, does it? If you haven't seen Independence Day, just go
Yeah.
home. No, but the other thing is, like last sentence, Will Smith's kid in the first film, is he there in this? But do you think he should be? I don't know.
He might be.
Yeah,
I
don't
forget.
know.
I read who the guy was.
Maybe
but I
that's
just
John
didn't-
Boyega's role. I don't know. Okay, go.
Speaking of remakes,
Oh no.
I think you've heard about this. This is like pretty recent, like only a day old.
Right.
But it's pretty big.
Yes.
Shah Rukh Khan is going to make a
Breaking
Breaking Bad
Bad.
film in which they're not going to have it be about like the whole meth dealing and
Oh,
stuff.
then what is it about?
I just saw them one headline with a subtitle saying that Shah Rukh Khan's going to do it, and he said that he's not going to have it be about meth dealing and drugs and whatnot because it's not appropriate for the Indian audience. So what the hell is it?
What is it?
It's a dude in underwear in an RV, just like cooking. He's like going to make anda pav and just like
That would be great. I would watch the shit out of that.
and it would be 3 hours long.
Oh
of
my
just
God, anda
Shah Rukh
pav
Khan
making.
in underwear. Well, RVs don't exist in India, do they?
We have the equivalent in
We have an
Ambassador.
auto.
He's
Just get
sitting
a
in an
tempo.
Ambassador.
Just get a tempo.
Tempo,
Like
yeah, tempo
everything
traveler.
like mini size, travel size.
Oh my gosh, that would. But you know what? Here's my problem with any kind of foreign remake. Gajni. Oh my god. I can't believe at some point I was actually excited. But have you ever heard a science fiction concept being translated into Hindi? It's the funniest thing I've ever heard. When they were, especially in Gajni, they're trying to explain anterograde amnesia, which is what, Guy
Memento,
Pearce has,
yeah.
in Memento. It's the funniest thing. The doctor's like, "Nee, actually, jo man mein hota hai ye," and my Hindi is terrible. And I still understood it because they dumbed it down so much. It was so bad. Oh my god. And these are, he's explaining it to med students. I was like, you can use better words. Just use hippocampus or something. But I think just like for the sake of...
What is Hindi for Erlenmeyer flask?
Oh god, I have no idea. But like so bad. And that's my problem whenever they take like complex concepts and try to translate them.
What do you think Los Pollos Hermanos will be in Hindi?
I have no idea. I think
Murg Bhaiya. I don't know.
We don't even know if they're doing like...
I'm so curious.
Why?
I'm just so
Having
curious.
said that, I just want to make a quick mention. 24 in Hindi, in the Hindi series. Really good, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is Anil Kapoor in that?
Yeah, he was actually the worst thing about it.
Well,
he was the least good thing about it, but it was exceptionally short. Even though beat for beat, it's a remake, but really good. And now they're doing season 2.
Is it called Chobis?
No, no, it's just called 24, and it's good. It's actually good. Just shout out to the guys who are making it. Not bad at all.
Hit me with your last one.
Last one. Oh gosh. Deadpool releasing a new trailer on Christmas.
Ooh.
Yeah. What do you think of the Deadpool thing so far? Here's my question. Is Ryan Reynolds overselling the, oh, I'm so funny, I'm so meta? Oh my gosh.
It is hitting it over the head.
Yeah.
I think they're going so hard with their sell.
Yeah.
That they're raising expectations every time. They're just like, this is going to be something so different.
This is going to be so
different,
funny.
so different, so funny, so different.
Yeah, that's kind of bumming me out now. A little bit.
There's a lot more writing on it now than I think it should, because Deadpool is not, at the moment, hugely well known to the public audience. Obviously,
I think it's
people
infamously
who know
known now because of the bad X-Men Origins film that
exactly.
was there.
So there's a lot more writing on this than I think there should have been.
Yeah.
If they just let this be like, hey, we're making a remake, we know it's kind of a gamble because the first one kind of didn't really work out for us, then I think I would have been a lot more excited by it. But now the fact that they're trying so hard to make it publicly known that this movie's happening is like, well,
but I think it's an A-rated film, so I think first of all it's going to have a much smaller, but I think dedicated audience, man. So I think the fans are there for it and they like it. But my thing is that, oh my god, they're trying really hard to do this.
Yeah, but see, again, if Netflix hadn't done Daredevil and Jessica Jones
I was just
with
gonna
all
bring
that
up,
blood and gore,
exactly.
I know you haven't seen Jessica Jones yet, have you?
No, I'm still
But
working on
there's
it.
tons of sex and violence,
Yeah.
a lot more
Love
sex and
it.
violence than
That's
Daredevil.
great.
And the fact that this has happened now, I'm no longer too wowed by the fact that Deadpool's going to have that, because I've already seen it and it's been done amazingly well.
My thing was like, I was going to talk about how Daredevil was so understated, right? When they said Daredevil's going to come out, everyone was like, Ben Affleck, and then they cast Charlie Cox as, Matt McBride. They were like, okay, fine. Yeah. And then it came out and just blew everybody's minds. I think that was what Deadpool kind of needed. But then the whole approach of Deadpool is just so over the top. So maybe it's working. I don't know. I'm not even sure. These are all separate episodes, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
We should do that.
I have my last one for you.
Go.
This one is as recent as like a week ago.
Yeah.
Saw it for the first time on the cab ride over here.
Oh, I hope
so
I know
this
about
is
it.
brand new for me. There will be a Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic crossover.
I think it's happened before.
Has it?
Yeah,
What
for
the-
sure.
what?
Yeah, there have been a lot of cool crossovers that have happened. There's one, there's a Batman and Aliens and Superman and Aliens crossover. Because obviously I'm a huge Aliens fan. Yeah, man, that was amazing. That was so good.
Have you seen a Batman TMNT?
No,
thing?
I don't know. I saw a poster recently, so I did see this, what you're talking about.
Okay.
There may be, I don't know if, it's so difficult to dissect between good fan fiction and, what is official. But sometimes it doesn't matter, because I think some of them were like definitely fan fiction. But it's, bring it on. My gosh.
I love the little write-up that I saw about it I saw this from comicbookresources.com, and the little write-up that they had.
Oh, they're good.
My favorite line is that Batman is built like John Cena, a brick wall of muscle and pointy ears, and even the Foot Clan are swiny and contorted, taking cues from the original Playmate figures.
Oh, wow. What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
Wow, John Cena is just like everywhere.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely bring it on. I'm a huge, obviously, it goes without saying, Batman fan. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, amazing fan, thanks to the 90s cartoon, the very good cartoon.
And all the video games.
It's so funny that you bring this up. I was gonna give you the new trailer for Out of the Shadows, which is a new TMNT film trailer, which is out. I actually like the first one.
You liked it? With the one with Megan Fox? And all
Yeah,
that?
I think people trashed it. They trashed. They said, "Oh, why is it so bad?" It was fine.
No,
it was great.
No, not for me.
Yeah, it's not. You're not supposed to keep your. It's not supposed to be a Nolan film. By any means.
I was not expecting a Nolan film,
Yeah.
and I definitely did not get.
But
a
here
Nolan
you go,
film, but
Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That would be good.
I don't know if it's versus. I think they're teaming up, and also the question is, where the hell are they? Are they in Gotham? Are they in New York? I don't know. Anyway, it's
Yeah, we've really pushed this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Moving
Great.
on.
Yeah.
So the very last thing we want to mention is about something that's happened recently in Bombay, if we can.
Yeah.
It was like about, I think, just about a month and a half ago. It was at High Street Phoenix in Parel.
That was fun.
It was called the Lightsaber Challenge, and we were fortunate enough to get to be there and film a little bit
Shoot
of it.
yeah.
And
There's a video. It should be out.
yeah, we will have a video out.
If it's not
on
out
our,
already by the time this episode is out, I think, it should be out in a couple of days.
It was basically the launch of the new lightsaber.
Yeah,
New lightsaber
basically
toy.
all the I think is it Mattel or is it Hasbro? I'm not sure, but there's a bunch of new, obviously merchandise is like how Star Wars funds its movies, and there's a bunch of it, and the key kind of figure was the new lightsaber. I didn't think it was that great.
It really was kind of meh.
It was basically like a low cost kind of lightsaber for
Sure.
kids to kind of just throw
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
It's not like a super fans force effects or ultimate effects,
Right.
lightsaber which comes with a detachable blade and stuff like
But
that.
I think what we were all there was the five of us, the entire Geek Fruit team. We were all there, or I guess four of us.
Four
we
of
were
us were
the
there,
four
yeah.
of us were there,
Yeah.
and we were. I think what we were all really pleased with was the fact that they actually put a lot of effort into making this event happen, and it was across, I think, 2 days, 3 days.
2 days.
2 days.
2 days. Yeah,
2
they
days.
canned the first day. and
Yeah,
then-
it was across 2 days, and they built this huge stage.
very impressive set actually. I
And
liked it.
I really appreciated the fact that for once there was something happening in India that was actually actively trying to put out something to do with science fiction and fantasy and like get kids
So this
involved
is
from
what
an early
bothers
age.
me though. It's like, they're doing all this promotion and then they didn't release it on the day that it releases internationally. And they've done it for Iron Man and all Marvel films. Again, I'm thinking this is a singular problem for Bajirao Mastani and Diwali. I think the next film will be out on the correct date. And I'm hoping that happens because that would be great for everybody. But yeah, this event, really funny. There was basically kids who are being
Hilarious.
trained, so to speak. I'm doing the air quotes right now, but yeah, being trained
They were
to-
given brown carpets to wear as Jedi robes.
yeah, they look like Harry Potter,
And
like
they were,
Hogwarts
they looked
students.
far more like Hogwarts students than Padawans. And they were given tiny baby lightsabers, and they were invited on stage by this guy dressed up in a very good, actually very
In a
convincing
proper,
Obi-Wan kind of,
cosplay legit.
legit Jedi outfit, who then comes on stage and in really terrible broken English tries to teach these guys how to use their lightsabers. And these are kids from like age 4 to like 12.
It was
at
very
best,
sweet. And
4
they
to 10 maybe.
got a proper, so to speak, I mean, this is what we heard, a licensed, an authorized cosplayer of Darth Vader to come down and, actually duel with these guys. And it was great. Like, it was quite awesome. And we even got one of our guys from Geek Fruit, Dinkar, to fight him. And that was the
It was
funniest
amazing.
thing
So you
ever.
can see...
You can check out this video
all
online.
of that and more on our website at geekfruit.in.
So I think we're done for this first ever Geek Fruit Awakens episode. I think that's so good. I'm so excited. Like that we have managed to
happy for you.
contain ourselves to only so much time, which we could have just gone on for. But so if you guys are even if you're interested in the kinds of things that we are, and we are really, really, really excited about, Star Wars and all the things that are going to be happening in pop culture, in the few, coming years, you should just, band with us. We have a number of platforms, the main one being our website, which is geekfruit.in. So we're going to be putting out these podcasts. That's like our flagship kind of piece of content, I think, that we're going to be putting out most regularly. Fortnightly, it's going to be available on iTunes, SoundCloud, TuneIn, and Stitcher. And wherever else you find your podcasts. But yeah, they're going to be, we're going to try and put them out as far and wide as possible. Apart from that, we have like our website, which has obviously the podcast over there. It's going to be having a strong editorial section where we're going to be just putting out our thoughts and opinions on, everything geeky. Jishnu is going to be doing some stuff as well. Do you want to tell?
I'm going to be fielding emails from you guys, because one of the most important things about this is the fact that, like I said at the very top of it, we are not experts on this, and we are not the end-all, be-all in terms of this voice we want to have for India as far as all things
But we
geeky.
could be. With
Again.
your help.
Again with the bloody interruptions. No, well, that's exactly what we want. We want you guys to email us, get a hold of us, follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all of which is at GeekFruitHQ.
Yeah.
So Facebook.com/GeekFruitHQ, Twitter handle and Instagram handles are GeekFruitHQ.
Yeah.
Please write into us at our email address at contactgeekfruit@gmail.com.
Yes.
And if you have anything to say, anything to add, anything to correct us on, anything to call us out on, bring it.
Bring
we
it,
welcome the
son.
challenge. So much so that really, if you really care enough, hell, come on the freaking podcast.
It is possible we have made several mistakes.
It is more than likely. There's another empty microphone and chair waiting for anybody that wants to actually join in, because that's kind of the point of this at the end of the day.
Yeah, but be cool.
Just getting people on stage.
just be nice, guys. Like, hey, we're doing this. It's a legit thing. Just take it easy. This is my warning to anybody who wants to come out here. No, I'm just joking. Please come. We need you.
We should stop before you get further down your.
So let's. This has been good. Thank you, Jishnu, for joining me today.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Cool. Yeah, we have live long and prosper. May the force be with you. Any other cool sign-offs that we need? We don't have any more. That's it. Those are the only good ones, I guess. We don't know anymore. We don't know anymore. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.